Hello, hello. Let's get our fellow curly girl on here. If I can find her. There we go. Alrighty. Well, hello everyone. It's my first IG live. Like, I'm excited. Hold on one second. All right, so I'm just waiting for Welshy Curl Girl to come on. I've sent her the request. She did say she's not that fantastic with technology, so I do hope that you bear with me while I get her on here. All right. So as we wait for Welchy Curl Girl to come on, Sash, I figured let's just introduce myself because there's a lot of new faces here and stuff like that, especially when Sash comes on. So I am Queen Adrienne Monroe. I am the founder of Red Carpet Curls and the entire Red Carpet Curls platform. So, you know, the website and everything. Oh, snap. Welchy Curl Girl just got here. Okay, one second. She said she can't get on. Un segundo. Maybe that worked. Sash, let me know. I sent you another. Oh my God, AJ, hi! Oh, wait, hold on. Let's put this volume up.
How you doing?
Yo, I finally got my stand to work. It's facing forward, so I have my hands free.
I've got all my stuff on a music stand in my living room. I'm just like, let's just shove it on a music stand because I don't know.
Listen, I was sitting here for 5 minutes like, why is this not staying up? I can't hold the camera like this the whole time. Like, I got props and stuff. Damn.
Oh, I've got a little one that wants to join, so we've got puppy love as well for this one. She's currently climbing up my leg, aren't you, baby? Hello. Anyway, over to you.
Yeah, so I was just telling people, especially for your followers, because a lot of them may not know me. So my name is Queen Adrienne Monroe. I am the founder of Red Carpet Curls. So I created the website, the YouTube channel, the podcast, everything. So that is that face. And this is my brand new friend who I will stalk one day once I get a ticket to get on a boat or a plane to wherever she is. So
the kettle's on, babe. I'm ready for you.
Okay. Hold on. I just saw a comment go by and I don't want to miss any comments. The highlight of your day, getting it to stand. Hello. You see, my friend's making fun of me because he knows damn well that this stand working was the highlight of my day. So whatever.
I feel ya. I'm sorry. If you've got to be there with your phone like this, then
it's not worth it. I'm sorry. Nobody likes shaky hands too. Like my hand shakes, so I'll just be like, why is it moving like this? My bad, people. Like, but let's get started because we're gonna bore people if we just sit here like this.
Yes. Yeah. Chat. I apologize in advance if anyone. Oh gosh, Adrienne knows, but if anyone's been on live with me before,
But that's what makes me so fun to talk to. Like yesterday's FaceTime was just too much fun. It was a great start to my morning. Normally, I'm waking up to notifications of people arguing with me, and it's like, why? I don't want to wake up to this. And I woke up to you like, hey, do you want to have a chat? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do this. Where's my coffee?
Oh, hey, Sarah.
Hi. Okay, so today's topic is one that I covered in my podcast last week, but I figured it'd be a lot more fun to do it with Sash. So we're going to be talking about clarifying versus gentle weekly cleansing because there's a very big difference. So I always start with clarifying. I told you I have props. I came ready. I have bottles. Clearly, I don't have my dog loving me, so I feel some type of way right now.
Sorry. She's climbing on my lap, so she might as well be up here and joining the live, frankly, between the pair of them. Anyway,
yes. So this is actually my all-time favorite, if I could get you the label, there we go. My all-time favorite clarifying shampoo. It's known as the Anionic Natural Soothing Mint Sulfate-Free Clarifying Shampoo. And I'll tell you why this is my favorite. When I started out taking care of my hair, everyone told me no sulfates. Sulfates are going to be the worst thing for your hair. And I got very confused because I'm like, my shampoos have nothing but sulfates. So how bad can it be? I was just like, wow, okay. So I started going into the Facebook groups and stuff like that, and I got my butt handed to me when I showed them my shampoos. I got kicked out of some groups. It was bad.
Facebook can be brutal, honestly.
Oh my God, they're like the United Nations. It's like, I didn't think it was this serious. Just calm down. I'm just looking for some answers. Hi, guys. So sulfates, here's pretty much what nobody wanted to tell me in the beginning before booting me out of groups, which is sulfates are far too strong for naturally textured hair. Naturally textured hair, so it's all hair that's not naturally straight. So wavy, curly, coily. Any of those kind of textures, naturally your hair is more dry than straight hair. And that's because the sebum, the oil that your scalp produces,
struggles to go down strands.
Someone said I hate the Facebook groups.
Guy, I can't be doing with them.
I can't even front right now.
At the same time, there's ones that are literally like,
I know. Some of them are just so bad. I feel like I got kicked out of the cool table or something. Like, what happened? I thought I wasn't in high school anymore. Dang. Anywho. Let's get back to clarifying. So the sebum that your scalp produces, the natural oils that your scalp produces, they take a long time to go all the way down the strand. If you have naturally straight hair, it's like a roller coaster, straight down. You don't have to worry about anything. It's going to get moisturized, especially the ends of your hair, which are the most vulnerable part of your hair because it's the oldest part of your hair, the furthest away from the scalp, which produces the oil that nourishes it. So
that'll generally be the part of your hair that's slightly more damaged or generally a little bit drier anyway. And the tighter your curls are, the more likely this is going to be true.
Absolutely. So scientifically, I just want to make the point because that was a great point. Especially in the Facebook groups, we see a lot of stuff like black versus white with curly hair. It shouldn't be that way. The only scientific difference between Caucasian hair and African hair is that African hair, the cuticle layer, is a lot thinner than Caucasian and Asian hair. Asian hair has about 6 to 8 scales, layers of scales on the cuticle, which is very thick. That's why the hair is so thick and very chemically resistant. That's why it's very hard to dye Asian hair because it won't take the color too well. But actually Caucasian hair is a little bit better with that. And African hair is the one that's the most fragile. This cuticle layer is so thin that is why it is the much more fragile hair type, because it has such a thin cuticle layer. So you encounter more split ends and more breakage. Not to mention that African hair is the most dry. So you need a lot more TLC than you would, like, let's say you and me, we have fine hair. So our hair doesn't need a lot of moisture. You and I, we can skip a week in deep conditioning.
Many weeks.
Yeah, many weeks at that. African hair cannot. It cannot. There's a reason they use a lot of butters, a lot of oils, because the hair becomes so parched, so thirsty, that it becomes rough and brittle and it starts to break off and stuff like that. That's the only difference. Your cuticle layer is just a smidge smaller. That's all it is. I never want to see stuff like, oh, well, our hair is a hair that really is curly. No, any texture is still a texture. There shouldn't be any kind of comparing or, holier than thou. A texture is a texture. That's it. So clarifying, even like Sash said, the curlier hair types, it becomes even more important to clarify your hair, especially when you add porosity into it, because low porosity, I'm high porosity. So my hair, the scales stay open, lifted. So my hair gets very dry. Sash, on the other hand, has low porosity hair. We were just talking about this. It takes her 20 years to dry her hair.
It takes forever. And to be fair, drying your hair, just because we're on the topic, drying your hair is not necessarily indicative of porosity, because fast drying time and slow drying time can be true of both high and low porosity. But low porosity hair, when it's properly wet, oh my gosh, I'll be sat here 20 years later just going, It's just not fun.
It's horrible. That's why I'm very, very thankful God did not give me low porosity hair because, I was just too lazy. My hair dries in 2 hours. And even then I struggle like, do I really have to wash it right now? I don't want to.
And
I
that's air
can't
drying.
imagine.
That's air drying for you. Drying your hair in 2 hours is air
Yes.
drying. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my hair with a diffuser takes 45 minutes on like medium-ish heat. Drying, air drying, I will be here all day, literally, and
Oh
it's
my
still
God.
at the end of it. I'll be like, well, and for fine hair, that's ridiculous. Fine hair should be drying proper quick.
It's so thin. It flakes in the wind and everything, but when you actually need it to
There we
dry,
go.
it's like no.
We've got another who takes a while, 3 to 4 hours to air dry. Yeah, it's not fun when your hair's on the back
No.
of your neck and you're just like, oh.
It's a gross feeling. That's actually why I use Scrunch It. It's a shower cap. You see my Scrunch It post, girl. I love Scrunch It.
Anyway, we digress.
Yes, we digress. We're gonna get into a whole bunch of things. This is why we had a live yesterday, me and her, because we get into so many different things.
We need to keep on track. Oh, hang on. Just before we get back on track, strand test. Jodie, I think Jodie posted, your username is awesome. Strand test. So unreliable. It really, really is. There is so many things that can skew that test. Have you got build-up on your hair? Is there the water surface tension? Don't rely on that. Go by the characteristics that your hair presents as to whether, high porosity, do you need to be deep conditioning it lots? Is it getting dry quite quickly after wash day? Things like that. Don't go by that strand test. It ain't working.
Yeah, I never did the strand test just because in the beginning, no one told me you're supposed to pop the air bubble when you do, like, for the float test. It was something like that. For the float test, you have to pop the air bubble. Then nobody told me about the build-up and stuff. I'm like, okay.
It's so many things that can skew it. On another note, Shanice, I can't air dry. It's too sticky.
Oh, my. Ugh, I don't even want to think about it. I'm just getting horrible feelings now. Lord. Oh, my God.
My hair to fully wet in the shower. That's more depends on your hair type as well, because coarse hair takes longer to get wet. Low porosity hair takes longer to get wet. It all comes together in this. Anyway, clarifying.
Oh, really quick though, before we get into that, I did see someone ask what's the best way to find out like your actual hair information. I always tell people the way I learned was like Sash said, comparing the scientific behaviors of each porosity, each kind of hair strand. And then the most surefire way, if you're still a little unsure, is to get your hair tested in a lab. That actually, Sash, I saw you right now with the
There's about 5 or 6 of them just kind of going, we shall unite in one curl.
So I was saying, get it tested in a lab. There's a company on Instagram called My Main Bio. They actually send you a kit where you're supposed to clarify your hair and then send a few strands to them in this envelope sealed. And within 6 weeks, they take a microscope. They really analyze the hair strand and they tell you your porosity, your width, your behaviors, and some product recommendations that are sulfate, silicone-free, and paraben-free. So honestly, you can't go wrong. If you do need that link, just let me know. I will put it in here. But yeah, back to clarifying. Otherwise, what did we come on here for?
Right.
So, right? We're just having fun. So
We
clarifying.
I promise, guys.
Yeah, I promise. I promise we're gonna get to it. Clarifying. So here's what you need to know about clarifying. Clarifying, I always describe it as the ultimate form of cleansing. It is the heaviest cleansing you can do. Clarifying basically is removing everything. It's like a teacher coming into the room like, do you not hear the fire drill? Move, let's go. Everybody gotta be out, That's how I describe clarifying shampoos. So clarifying shampoos have the ability to remove any kind of buildup, silicone buildup, sebum buildup, which is
except hard water buildup. You have
Yes,
to have chelating ingredients for hard water. That's the only type of buildup that clarifying shampoos will not remove.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, that sounds so good.
Chelating, which is a confusing thing.
Yeah,
Oh my
there's a
God,
whole bunch of options. Don't worry. I do have an article on my blog right now with all of that specific written out information we're just covering right now. So clarifying shampoo, except for hard water and stuff like that, mineral like that, doesn't remove that. But everything else, sebum, silicone, your hair products. Listen, your hair products leave a film on your hair. That's the only reason we don't have frizz and stuff. Well, I kind of have frizz, but I'm digging it today. So all of that,
we've all got frizz.
yeah. I mean, we just come on Instagram and we're so used to people with the perfect curls, and a lot of people don't tell us, well, hey, I just finger coiled before I came on here. So like those are things we should know when we're looking at people. What should you wash your hair with if you have? Oh, my bad. If you have well water, does clarify and get rid of it. You're gonna need what's it called? Chelating. Chelating.
So,
Yeah.
just to get into this, chelating is different from clarifying. Clarifying are surfactant based. Chelating is things like phytic acid, acids. What's the other one? I'm completely blanking. But in terms of chelating shampoos, you've got things like Ion Shampoo, which is a brand. You've got things like Malibu hard water shampoo, but there are specific ingredients cheating shampoo. Specific ingredients that you need to look out for. There is something on my I've got a big post on this because I have really hard water. Well water is exactly the same. Anything with mineral buildup in that water, you need an extra essentially on top of clarifying to it's literally like you say clarifying is get the fire drill out. This is turbo boost. The school's blown up.
The whole building's on fire. There's no time for warnings anymore.
The world has imploded. You carry on and explain, because I'm just going to try and find the ingredients because I've completely blanked on it.
So
you go.
That's essentially what clarifying is. It's just removing. It's like next level VP. It'll remove almost everything from your hair. The reason you want to clarify is, especially once we start getting into porosities and stuff, the more product you put in your hair, especially while you're transitioning, you have to understand your scalp and hair during transition, they're going crazy. You may have an oily scalp that's trying to regulate itself and stop overproducing so much oil. As a result, your hair can start to get dry. You putting so much product in your hair that your hair is not healthy enough to take it. All of a sudden, your hair is full of product buildup. It's weighed down. Did you find that shampoo stuff yet?
Yeah, EDTAs, so disodium EDTAs, I think it's trisodium or something like that, EDTA, phytic acid, sodium phytate. And there's things like clays as well. They're chelating.
My favorite.
I love a clay. And in theory, things like ACV and lemons and limes are, because they've got citric acid in them, but how effective they'll be is anyone's guess, really. Anywho, why? I'm going to ask you the question, why are clarifying shampoos clarifying?
Okay, so we're getting back to it. Clarifying shampoos are clarifying because they contain anionic surfactants. All right, there's different kinds of surfactants. So whenever you look at a shampoo label, the first 5 ingredients on the label is what 80% of the product is made of. Okay, that's actually what you're paying for. So you'll notice with Suave conditioners and stuff, I used to fall for it all the time. I picked up one, I was like, lime, this must smell incredible. This must be like a whole new thing. Let me get it, $1.79. Get out of here. I'm cheating the system. Oh my God, I thought I was just, I was having a blast. And then I go and I open this conditioner and I'm like,
all of those cheap shampoos. I used to do the same. Honestly, I'd run into a shop and be like, yeah, it smells great, and come out with arms and arms.
The
Trash.
money that I spent so frivolously is just ridiculous. I wish I had some of that money back. I'm pretty sure I got myself into spending
Someone
debt
just
because of
stop
CB.
me. I wish I had someone who just went, shush.
You don't need this. Mm-mm. No,
Stop.
your hair can't handle all this. What are you doing, girl? Like, when I go shopping with my friends now, my friends only come shopping with me for hair stuff because they're like, you're the hair lady. You know how to read labels. You know what's good. Come with us, right? So they'll come to me with the normal stuff full of silicones, and I'm like, honey, put this back. I'm not even gonna read the rest of this label. I saw dimethicone and another silicone in there, trimethicone, something like that. No, thank you. So trust me, we've all been there, man. We've all been there. If
Yeah.
the ingredient you are buying this product for is not within the first 5 ingredients, put the product down. You are not paying for that special ingredient on the marketing. You have to remember, labels are still marketing. This is still a company trying their best to convince you, look at how nice this bottle looks. Don't you think you would have great hair days with this? Look at this. Then you have someone cute like Sash doing something like that. You're like, I need this shampoo now. I need to be happy with her.
Everyone just needs to hire me for ads to do this.
Oh my gosh. No, but back to clarifier, because I'm going to be here all day with you guys. You must be sick of me already.
I'm so distracting.
All right, so let's get back to anionic surfactants. So whenever you look for a clarifying shampoo, you're supposed to be looking for something called an anionic surfactant. Shampoos were created to clarify, I should say, that we use clarify, but to cleanse all the buildup from your hair. So around the 1930s was when sulfates were created. They were invented by companies because they said, oh, wow, look at all this soap scum that's staying in these people's hair. And some people must be smelling funky by now. Some people's hair must be falling out. We got to do something about this.
Well, to be fair, if you look at some of the stuff they put on their hair pre-1930,
oh my God.
they
Some of the
things
stuff,
like bacon fat and stuff like that, and like just
it was bad. It was really, really bad.
I did a post on this on Poison Unearthed that there was people putting cow's pee on their hair to cleanse it. Can you imagine? I mean, wow.
I got horrified. I just got the mental image, and I just got scared, and I just started holding my hair like, no.
At some point when you least expect it, a video of me washing my hair with apple juice, and you'd just be like, I'm trying it out, girl.
Oh my God, stop. I already have enough trouble following all these trends on social media. Like with the hair, they have a lot of these trends, and I'm like, okay, if that works for you.
Where'd you buy this, Denise?
I don't know. I know I tell people to raid their kitchen, but that's for hydrolyzed protein. Don't be getting your stuff to make sandwiches and put it in your hair. Like, it's gonna be like cement. That's horrible. Don't be like me.
Anionic surfactant.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So back to anionic surfactants. So, shampoos. Sulfates were created in the 1930s to get rid of all that buildup, especially after the Middle Ages in Europe and stuff like that. Your purity became synonymous with your cleanliness. So the cleanlier you were, the more people considered you as pure and well-to-do, right? So a lot of people started realizing, okay, so our hair has to be clean. It can't just be full of bacon fat and all of that because, some flies and stuff might follow us around and people get tight. So they decided, let's create sulfates. Sulfates are a form, one specific group of anionic surfactants. I always say it's a class of surfactants, a group, okay, which involved sulfate options and sulfate-free options. Both sulfate and sulfate-free, as long as they are anionic surfactants, they have the same power to remove buildup, such as sebum and silicone. Okay, you do not, and I need to stress this, you do not need a final wash ever. ever, 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 ever. Because
You
the
can
whole
literally
point,
switch straight to a clarifying shampoo. And you do not need, this is something that I get asked an awful lot. Are clarifying shampoos sulfate shampoos? Well, yes, but there are many sulfate free shampoos that are also clarifying.
mm-hmm. That's why I tell people I used to get a lot of pushback because although many of the Facebook groups act like cults, I am in fact a cult member. I
You're a cult leader. Own it.
I am a leader, okay? I run 2 Facebook groups where we don't do the cult rules and stuff like that because I just can't handle them. If you are asking me, is this approved? Does this have no sulfates and stuff? I don't care if it's not approved. I'm going to approve your post so I can say, no, this is not, and here is why. Here's another option you can use. Help people. Don't just turn them away,
Let's not get into the Facebook run.
Yeah, no. If you help people, though, they come back. There's less misinformation.
That's what people join things for and go on Instagram for, to see like things that are going to help them. That's the point of it, isn't it? At the end of the day,
you don't want to be sold stuff all day long. You want how do you say a regular conversation like me and you. Like we get on here, we start talking about 10,000 different things about what worked, what didn't, and hopefully it helps somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's get
anionic surfactants. How do they work? Let's go down that route.
Yes. I like this. So here's how anionic surfactants work. Anionic surfactants have 2 ends, right? It's one molecule with 2 ends. One is hydrophilic. That means that it likes to attract the water. It's like, yo, come in here, bro. It's been 10,000 years. I love you. Don't leave me ever again. And then the other side is like, water? I don't think so. We love oil over here. We're oil people. That's what we do, So normally the oil attracting side attracts to your hair. It grabs onto the oil in your hair. So may that be the sebum, the product buildup. It's grabbing on. Now, the water-loving side grabs onto the water from your shower, and that allows the oil end to release into the water that's coming out of your shower. So you're removing all of this oil out. So you need both of these ends, the water-loving and the oil-loving. That's why many of our products...
In a nutshell, surfactants are a way of blending water and oil so that it can then be washed away.
Exactly. And that's why shampoos and products with oils in them, this is why they work. There's many people that say, wait, oil and water don't mix. You're not necessarily mixing. They're doing 2 separate jobs at the same time under the same molecule. That's it. Okay? That's essentially how an anionic...
That's exactly what it is.
Yes, thank you.
Water loving and water hating.
Oh my God, thank you. Listen, I love chemistry and I study it, but I'm still Puerto Rican. We still can't pronounce these big words. I'm trying my best. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So that is an anionic surfactant. That's why a sulfate-free clarifying shampoo works. Sulfate and sulfate-free, they do the same job, just at a lesser degree. The sulfate is going to go in, rush in, and basically it's kind of like when police break through a door and they're looking for somebody. I guarantee you your mama's china is not going to be okay. It's going to be broken. It's going to be on the floor because they're looking for a specific thing and they don't care about anything else.
Let's move away from that.
It's like when anyone bum rushes in, you're like, what's happening? That's essentially what an anionic surfactant's done. Your hair is not prepared. It's like, wait, what? And then it's just gone. All that sebum and stuff is gone. A Chilean shampoo is even worse. It's coming in and it's like, this is my house now. This ain't your house no more. Get out. All right?
But I had a question. This why one of the questions I had, because obviously we put the post up yesterday, this is why clarifying and chelating your hair is so drying, because it literally comes in and it goes and takes everything, literally everything. Oh, snort, snort.
Listen, this is how I describe hair care to my friends. This is really how I teach my friends.
Dude,
I'm like,
this is exactly what I need in my life. Like, I'm vibing here. I'm good.
I tell my friends, I'm like, listen, clarifying shampoos try to be your Batman, okay? They're not exactly the law, but they give you benefit. And if you treat it right, it'll treat you right. Batman will always keep coming back to save you, you know?
You just need to put that in the sky, put the sign in the sky, grab your clarifying shampoo, and off you go.
Like, I'm going to put a post up, and it's going to be Batman's mask, and it's going to be clarifying shampoo. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. People must be sick of us. If we use a Chilean shampoo, do you need to clarify? That's actually a very, very good question. So
Chelating shampoos will do everything.
Exactly. If it's the ultimate form of cleansing, trust me, anything you put in your hair is going to be removed with a chelating shampoo. Or if you choose to clarify, just remember the mineral water and the hard water. That's the only thing it might not cover. It really depends on what kind of...
This is why I just tend to use a chelating shampoo rather than clarifying, because I'm really lazy. If I can get away with just doing one thing, I will. I'm not gonna lie. So like, if I can get away with just cleansing my hair once and knowing that everything is gone, I will. And this cat is really annoying me. Get out of my face. And that's what a chelating shampoo will do. It will come in and literally take everything from your hair. It can be drying, but I have tried other things. I've tried various hard water things that can tackle hard water. That was a good sentence. Chelating agents that can tackle hard water, but the best, it's my Malibu Sea is what I kind of live by with chelating shampoos, and that literally does everything for my hair in one. And then I don't have to stress about it. It's just done, which makes life easier.
It does. Especially as a curly girl, you have multiple steps in your wash day. If you can just combine something, it's just so much easier. You feel like you're cheating the system. Like I said, like I'm getting bomb curls for less. So hello, I figured something out. But clarifying. So one thing I do want to stress, and it's one thing I talk about all the time with the founder of Anasi Naturals, because she's actually a chemist. She formulated the product. She worked with other companies like Suave, so she knows what she's talking about. She actually tells me you should be clarifying your hair at least once a month. And that goes for every single person, because I guarantee you within 30 days, if you're applying product every single day, if you're using even steam, even just water, you're weighing the hair down because the sebum continues to build up. That's why I always tell people scalp massages. Like, you need scalp massages. They help you to move the oil around your hair. So that it's not building up over top.
This is something that I don't think is done enough. Scalp massages, when you are just cleansing your hair, i.e. you are not clarifying, you cannot, especially if you are a co-washer or no pooer, you have to massage that scalp, because otherwise you are not, if you're just applying, that ain't going to do nothing. You need to get in there and move the dirt, because otherwise it doesn't come out. It doesn't, it's the physical movement that gets that off.
Exactly.
Someone asked something that'll get us back on topic. Does sodium alephin sulfonate, so that is take out hard water buildup, that is an anionic surfactant, so no, that won't deal with, that's not a chelating agent. Come and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not precious, but as far as I'm aware,
here's the thing. It's difficult when we're on social media because a lot of people, I never want anyone to take us as we are the chemists, we do formula. We don't. we simply just study. I study trichology, which is the science of hair and scalp. So I reiterate to you what I read from peer-reviewed journal articles, like the International Journal of Trichology. And what I've read about this particular ingredient, sodium C14, C16, sodium olfinate, something like that. Really impressed that I even remember that. Something close to it.
I'll do the name. You keep talking.
Yeah, exactly.
I can remember.
This ingredient, while it's really strong, it does have the power to remove all forms of buildup. The only reason we tell you it might not be able is just because if you're going into pools, if you're going into places and you have product, if you have hard water buildup, and now you have, you know, a pool water in your hair, chlorine, that's a lot of stuff to get through. And we don't know each particular case. Like, for example, when I go to the pool, I don't have any product in my hair. I only put product right before I go in to prevent the chlorine from coming in. So that kind of helps me in terms of clarifying a little bit. There's not a lot to get through. But if you have a lot of product buildup, if you just went in the pool and stuff like that, just to be safe, the strongest shampoo you can use is the chelating shampoo. Clarifying otherwise should cover anything else.
This is the thing, we can recommend till the cows come home, but at the end of the day, and people constantly ask me, how often should you be clarifying your hair? What do you need to look? There are signs that you can look out for, but it will be different for every single person's hair, literally, because, you know, I do something, I don't refresh other than with steam because I've got very fine hair. It builds up really quickly, and I don't particularly want to be clarifying and then having to deep condition every week. I will try and avoid that if I can. But someone else who refreshes every day with product, that is going to start to build up, and that is why it's different for every single person, and based on your hair type as well. Fine hair will experience build up quicker. Low porosity hair often experiences build up quicker. Things like this will massively affect how often. So you need to pay attention. Again, it comes back down to looking at your hair's characteristics. If your hair is starting to lose the curl, if your hair is starting to feel producty, if your roots are suddenly going flat, if your products that were working amazing last week have stopped working all of a sudden, clarifying is your first step before you do anything else. Get a clarifying shampoo on there, or, you know, if you're a little bit more strict about things, get an ACV, get a lemon juice rinse, get something on your hair that is going to try and, you know, remove that issue. That's your first step every single time. Look out for the characteristics that point you in that direction.
My favorite is actually, like you mentioned, the clay. For me, it doesn't matter if I have hard water buildup. It doesn't happen. Like, when the moment I mix bentonite clay and apple cider vinegar, I know whatever's in my hair is coming out. It's coming out, and I'm going to have the best curls the rest of the day. They're going to jump right up. They're going to be so fluffy and bouncy. Phenomenal.
Now, there's another thing with this. The reason I mix my clay with apple cider vinegar, I don't know about you, Adrian, I'm sure it is because it's scientifically based, is because clay has a very high pH. Apple cider vinegar has a lower pH, and that will balance them out. So you are not doing, because if you go with too high a pH or even too low a pH, you can damage your hair. So that balancing out in the middle, acidic and alkaline, it helps.
Absolutely. The clay works to literally lift the buildup and stuff from your hair, the hard water minerals and stuff like that. It literally just allows your scale to lift just a little bit, and then all of that starts to come out through the gaps. And then the apple cider vinegar works to clarify. So whatever's left, anything deep down, it's going to clarify, it's going to lift it up so it could be removed. And then the apple cider vinegar also works as a natural conditioner. So by the time you rinse it out with some kind of warm water, it's going to seal the cuticles as well. But don't worry about it sealing. If you are going to deep condition after that, all you need is warm water to rinse your hair, and it'll reopen. Our hair is amazing.
So, Joe, clay can strip color from hair. Adrian, do you color your hair?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you find?
I do pintura highlights, but I'm not gonna lie, I do this mask every 3 months now. right before I go to the hair salon because I want to try to, especially with a pandemic, I want to hold on to the color as long as I can because I can't leave my house very often.
Yeah.
So I try to do it once every 3 months. It's a seasonal detox for me.
Yeah, clay can be stripping, so just be aware of that. Absolutely, Joe. It's a really, really good point. Because, you know, it takes everything, literally, and because it does raise the cuticle. I'm right in saying that, aren't I, Adrian? It raises the cuticle slightly because obviously colour is deposits under the cuticle. It can take those deposits with it as well.
Okay. So let's get into, I showed you my favorite clarifying. So we understand now that a sulfate-free anionic surfactant is what makes a clarifying shampoo clarifying. You can also look for natural cleansing kind of ingredients. So something like tea tree oil, that's very, very cleansing and it's very good for the scalp, including scalp conditions.
They feel so good. Peppermint, tea tree oil,
I
tingle,
love
tingle,
peppermint.
yum.
Yeah.
Just to say, don't put essential oils straight on your skin because they can cause allergic reactions and this, that, and the other. But things like peppermint and tea tree oil can be beautiful in the right combinations of things.
Oh, absolutely. When I used to do my apple cider vinegar rinses, when I do, because I still do, I actually put essential oils in them. So I don't just put it straight into the water. I take a separate little bowl or something like that, and I mix in jojoba oil. That's my carrier oil. That's actually, yeah, so that's actually what's going to take the brunt of the power from the essential oils to prevent your skin from damaging. So jojoba oil is the only one of the oils that's actually able to mimic the natural sebum of your human skin.
Yeah, it's the closest one. Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
literally the closest. So your skin's gonna do well with jojoba, so you don't have to worry about that. But for the hair, it actually turns out to be sealing. It does not have the power to penetrate the hair. So if I use this as a carrier oil to protect my scalp, then when I mix in my oil, so I like to mix in carrot oil because that's actually, it strengthens the hair follicles. I like to mix in spearmint because I like that peppermint kind of feel.
And
I like wintergreen. Yeah, I'm telling you,
it does feel so good.
you need to try. I'm gonna send you the combination. It's literally jojoba oil is the carrier, right, in the apple cider vinegar, but mix in rosemary, sage, wintergreen, spearmint, and carrot essential oils together, just a few drops. Oh my God.
Sounds edible. Sounds like I'd eat.
I'm not trying to kill nobody, but for your hair, it's amazing.
Don't eat it, guys. That's just me. Honestly, like
I'm not trying to kill nobody. So no, so you can definitely look for ingredients to add into your rinses and stuff. So, you know, rosemary essential oils, thyme, sage, all of these strengthen the hair follicles, but they also give a nice tingle and they cleanse as well. Also, so does lemongrass essential oil. Lemongrass essential oil also cuts through buildup. So those are great to look for in your clarifying shampoos.
Lemon juice and citric phytic acid, things like that as well, are really beautiful clarifiers. Again, please don't put lemon juice straight on your hair because it's a very, very low pH, and we don't want to, you know, mix it with something. You know, mix it with a conditioner just to bring the pH up a little bit because we don't want our hair to go, whoa! It's just not a good idea.
I had someone, like, I felt so bad for this girl. I had someone come to me in tears, like literal tears. She was crying so hard, and she said her hair got worse taking care of it. And I said, how is that possible? So every product she's telling me, I've tried, and it's a great product. And I'm like, but what is going on? What's happening? I later found out over a week later, she didn't tell me that she was pouring straight apple cider vinegar onto her head to do the rinses. No water. I literally started crying for her. I felt so bad. I felt like a horrible teacher because, you know, with the article that I gave her and with my video tutorial, it clearly says, you know, a lot of water. So I felt like a horrible teacher. I started crying with her and I'm like, honey, no. This is an acid. It burned your hair, but let's start repairing. Here's what you have to do. From now on, you dilute with lots of water. Whenever I do an ACV rinse, I do 1 to 2.
Dilute it.
Yeah, I do 1 to 2 teaspoons of the pure apple cider vinegar in a water
And the rest
bottle.
is, yeah,
And
absolutely.
all of this
And
is just water.
that's the thing, isn't it? Our scalp is a slightly higher. We talked about this yesterday, but our scalp is a slightly higher pH than our hair. But our hair is easily damaged, and if you're going for too high a pH, you know, I've seen some. I had a lovely person contact me a while ago now, and their final rinse was recommended with dish soap, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is a mega, mega, mega high pH, and that will literally, your hair will just go, ah! It this kind of thing causes permanent damage to the hair. If you go for a really low pH or a really high pH, it will permanently damage your hair. So I mean, you know, if you've got products that are like pH 3.5, 4.5, that they're okay, but like you don't want to be dropping down to 1, 2 kind of area. That's dangerous territory. And same for top end, you know, 9, 10, just don't go there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
Okay, so that's clarifying, right? We covered clarifying. This is a must. You cannot skip this. This is at
Yeah.
least once a month, okay? And it's your choice how you get to do that. Now, for most people, they say, "You mean to tell me I only get to wash my hair once a month? What is that? I got fine hair. I got..." No, no, no. Nobody said you could only wash your hair once a month. We're just saying once a month with a clarifying shampoo. Now, if you're
Minimum.
gonna be, yeah, if
It
you're gonna be
depends
washing.
on your hair.
It really, really does. If you're going to be washing your hair, so for example, transitioning hair, you need to wash your hair more often than, say, someone who's 3 or 4 years into their journey. My
Yeah.
hair has had time to regulate. Yours has not. Yours is in the middle of a freak out, like, wow, what's going on here? Normally we straighten. I need to produce a lot more oil. What is happening here? All you have to do is switch to a gentle cleansing shampoo. So gentle cleansing shampoos are created with something called cationic surfactants. They're a little bit different from anionic surfactants. Clarifying shampoo, anionic surfactants, they remove everything. Cationic surfactants do not. They focus on what I like to say shallow cleansing. So it's kind of like when your mama leaves the house for like 4 hours and she tells you to clean the house and it better be clean by the time she comes back. And it's about 10 or 15 minutes before she comes back and you just remember your mama told you to clean the house and you know you're going to get your butt whooped if she come back to see a dirty house.
Not
So that's
analogies that make in my life, but I'm just like, just give me all of these analogies. Very reminiscent of my childhood as well. Oh look, let's get the feather duster, run quick, panic! Ah!
like I lived in a small apartment with my mom. So it wasn't that big of a job, but we did have family living with us. So I remember I would just go straight for the living room floor. I would sweep really, really quick. And I would sweep like
Anything that
the
was out and
kitchen.
about, you bung in a cupboard and just hope for the best. Just don't check that cupboard.
I would hide some of her stuff in the closets, like all the way in the back and stuff like that. Like, all right, she won't look this far because her back hurts. So she's not gonna go this far looking for stuff she don't know is here. You know,
Oh,
I'm gonna be okay.
my mum was short, man, and I'm tall. I'm like 5'9", so I'd get up into the cupboards above like everything else at the top of the wash dresser and stuff, and I'd be like, shove it in there because she can't reach. And there'd just be, she spring cleaned one year, and she opened the cupboard and all this, like, she got on a chair, like, and she opened the cupboard and all this stuff just like, oh
Oh my god!
I didn't do it. You got no proof.
I would literally tell her, what is going on in this house? How did all that stuff get up there? What?
Shanice, the rug 4 feet high with all the junk under it. Basically, my childhood.
Oh my god. Mom, let me tell you, I'm so glad my mama don't have social media and she don't know how to use social media, because if she heard this right now, she'd be so pissed, even though it was like years ago. She was crazy about that kind of stuff.
Oh, dear. So, cationic surfactants.
So, cationic surfactants are essentially going to just focus on shallow cleaning. Okay, that's essentially what they focus on. But they focus more on giving you moisture. That is the purpose. Okay, so it's kind of like, let's say it's 2 days after wash day for me. I clarified on wash day. So I don't need to clarify my hair in 2 days. I definitely don't think anyone should unless you're putting grease and bacon fat and stuff in your hair within 2 days. That's the only reason I would
There is
figure to
such a
clarify.
thing as over clarifying your hair, overusing these shampoos with stronger, in particular, anionic surfactants, and your hair will get drier. And especially if you're not deep conditioning, you know, your hair will get drier, it'll start to get frizzy, and it'll be like, it'll essentially mimic protein overload because you haven't got enough moisture in your hair because you're drying it out.
A lot of people always think, "Oh my, I'm going through protein overload." No, no, no. How long did you shampoo a lot this week? And I mean this, even with you got to look for marketing ploys. So the marketing is always going to say, "Yeah, this is the best thing. This is going to do that. This is vegan. This is not everything marked natural and vegan is natural and vegan. Not everything marked good for you is actually good for you. It's just they're trying to sell a product. So you need to be constantly looking at your ingredients because ingredients don't lie. That is what is in your product. So you know exactly what you're paying for. So a cationic surfactant is more for a gentle cleansing shampoo like this. This is one of my favorites. This is from Elaine Beauty. It is the high porosity shampoo, right? This is what I consider a low poo. A gentle cleansing shampoo with cationic surfactants that gently cleans. So you feel like, okay, your hair is bouncy and nice, but it doesn't feel too dry because it imparted some kind of moisture, whether that had been an oil in here or a butter or some kind of fatty acid or a good alcohol, like a moisturizing alcohol.
Yeah.
These are all ingredients added to give you moisture on top of cleansing.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of confusion as well around, this is a question I get constantly around the terminology here as well, with your no poos, low poos, co-washes, clarifying shampoos, chelating shampoos. There is a lot of confusion around exactly what is what. And yes, and this is part of the confusion. For me, I don't know about you, Adrian, but for me, a low poo is essentially, oh my gosh, do not cleanse your hair with fairy liquid, please.
What? They taught us in Arabic groups to do the final wash with dish cleansers. No, please. Please don't kill your hair like that. Please, I can't take it.
High pHs cause the hair to swell, and that causes damage to the cuticle. So anything like that, I mean, a dish cleanser like Fairy will be pH 9, pH 10. It will not have anything in it that balances those surfactants. It will have loads of surfactants, but it won't have anything in it like fatty alcohols, cationic surfactants, anything in it that balances the pH. It will literally just be soap. And that, I mean, imagine when you just put, if you have a basic soap that you bought for 99p, doesn't really have any like skin benefits. When you wash your skin with that, how dry is your skin once you have to then moisturize afterwards. It's exactly the same if you're putting something like that on your hair, and your hair fiber is really delicate. It's even more delicate than your skin. So it's really, really important that you don't do things like that. I have it before and it just breaks my heart a little bit. I'm like, no, please don't. Because then if you do your final wash with that, not only is your hair transitioning and getting used to not being straightened and this, that, and anymore, you're also having to deal with the dishwasher damage. And one wash in dishwasher, in fairy liquid and stuff like that, can cause damage. It can.
It's why we tell people don't use sulfates, just because actually washing once, for some people, it may not do the damage, but that's how it turns into a habit. That's like, oh, well, the first time was fine. I'm sure the next time will be fine. I don't do it often, but your habits are the ones that are damaging. You need to learn how to properly use products because the hair strand is an even more complex structure than the skin. There's so
Yeah.
many more layers to the hair strand, and because naturally textured hair is already more vulnerable, already
Yeah.
more dry, we can't
And
go and start doing processes that'll further damage it.
yeah. And I think the thing to bear in mind as well, when your hair leaves your head, it's essentially dead.
Yeah.
Your skin can rejuvenate, your skin can heal. If you damage your hair, however far, you can manage damage, but that damage is permanent.
Mm-hmm.
That you can manage damage like higher porosity hair that's as a result of years of straightening. You can deep condition and you can try and seal those cuticles with oils, but it's all very surface level. Strip all
Mm-hmm.
that back away and those cuticles will still be raised. Yeah. Righteous roots oil, haven't tried it, heard good things about it.
I love righteous roots. Who said righteous roots? Girl, I love me some righteous roots. And there's only one brand. Matter of fact, hold up. Righteous roots right here. That's how you know I'm a real one. I love me some righteous roots. It's like my 8th bottle. I've gone through a lot of bottles of this, but the only oil that I actually put before righteous roots for me it's called That's That Magic oil. It's a much smaller company here in the US. And I've worked with the founder since she started. This lady, she is oh my God, how is that one? I've been wanting that one.
I can't use an awful lot of it because obviously it builds up.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't build up. It's because my hair just kind of goes, oh my gosh, no, too much. Honestly, like, give me 5 minutes with oil and my hair will just I can use it. It's gorgeous though. It's gorgeous.
Oil,
I really like this. Really
the only
like
thing
it.
I don't do anymore with oil is pre-poo. I don't anymore just because of one reason. Oil has to be clarified out of your hair. A low poo is not going to remove this oil. So for me, if I'm going to be using a low poo, which already imparts some moisture, meaning it has some oil already in it, I'm not going to saturate my hair and scalp with so much oil that is not going to get properly cleaned out. So I only oil pre-poo or do a hot oil treatment when I'm about to clarify. Otherwise, for pre-poo, I use aloe vera because aloe vera is water soluble. It's 99.3% water in its structure. It has over 75 minerals and nutrients that your scalp needs in order to produce new hair growth and get rid of any dandruff and scalp issues.
I use a lot of aloe based products, but I haven't used aloe in isolation, and I really need to get my butt into gear because honestly, like, I don't know whether you follow her, CC Essential Oil. She uses aloe. She's got like beautiful, like proper coily hair. It's stunning. And she uses aloe vera fairly regularly. Oh my gosh, her results. Every time I see it, I'm like, I need to do that, and then I forget.
You know, I actually used to do it every week until I got lazy during pandemic. And I noticed such a massive difference in my hair, just in definition, just the way it clumped, and stuff like that. I noticed aloe vera it makes my hair feel thicker without weighing it down. It's moisturized. Aloe vera actually naturally hydrates and seals all at the same time. So it's an amazing stuff. I normally add a little bit of honey.
So it's a humectant. It's got humectant qualities, so it forms that layer.
And not only that, aloe has amino acids. So amino acids are hydrolyzed protein, which actually repairs your hair. Since amino acids are so small, they call it hydrolyzed protein, and that's because hydrolyzed protein is the only form of protein that has the ability to penetrate your hair to the deepest level, known as the cortex.
Actually do anything? Yeah, absolutely.
And that is where all the mass, 90% of the weight of your hair, as well as the integrity and structure, is found in the cortex. So think about it. Most protein treatments and stuff like that focus, avocado and big proteins like that, they can't penetrate your hair. They have to be hydrolyzed. You have to hydrolyze them so that they can penetrate to the deepest layer and actually do something. Otherwise, they just sit on the cuticle, and it's kind of like spackle. it's kind of like cement. It kind of fills in those little holes in the
Yeah,
outer layer.
but
But what
doesn't
about
actually.
the exactly? What about the holes in? I'm so sorry that was a phone call. I am so sorry. um,
I
you know,
thought it was a foghorn going off. I was like, oh,
no,
where's that coming from?
nobody
In my
ever
room,
loves
kind of go,
me enough. Let me tell you, nobody ever loves me enough to actually
oh,
call.
it's so true. It's always that moment when you don't need a phone call that a phone call turns up and you're like, oh, just go
Exactly.
away.
Exactly.
Um,
Oh, we're gonna have to come back on because we only have 15 seconds in this one.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it cuts us off half an hour.
I'll leave and then let's sort that out. Let's go.
All right. Okay. If I can get 1 second, guys, we'll come on right this